good evening, or good afternoon, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're at. It's some afternoon somewhere. So good afternoon. Welcome to Dawnies Kitchen. This is another meal recipe that I came up with. So today is going to be my famous baked ribs plus cheesy mashed, not mashed potatoes, but scallop potatoes, but in chunks. That's how Hamilton and I like it. I already cut up my onion, if you can see that, and I gotta chop up my green bell pepper in slices just like this. And also this is 1 block of sharp cheddar cheese, and then this is the Colby Jack block of cheese. Also, I'm going to cut up in 8-ounce. So, and this is also an 8-ounce too, and the sharp cheddar cheese. So I'm going to put that in between layers of my potatoes. I already did my potatoes about a good 30 minutes ago, so that way I'm not wasting too much time with this recipe and this video. So the time now, it is 4:17 p.m. here in Dawnies Kitchen, and welcome back to another video and to another recipe. So like I said, it's going to be smoked ribs into the oven. I already preheated my oven to 375 degrees. Yes, so that's already ready. It's already on and heating up. And also that's going to, and also I'm going to make some green beans. Let me show you the bag. So and this is what it is. Just one. This is in the 24-ounce, 1 pound, 8-ounce of green beans from our family cut. They're already cut, so they're in good slices for the green beans. I'm going to put them back in the fridge. I just want to let you know what we're having with the potatoes. And how was everyone's day today? So it's Friday. Yes, the weekend beginning. Yes, I hope you're all enjoying your weekend. Definitely take notes with this recipe so you can cook it for your family. If you're on vacation to a cabin, something like that, and you want to make this great meal, this takes about a good hour or so to make it. And then the seasonings are my to-go is my LAWRYS seasoned salt, my garlic powder, and then I put this, just about 3 to 4 tablespoons of this into the potatoes when I peeled them, and I cut them up in chunks, in good medium-sized chunks. So yes, and then parsley flakes, and also not garlic powder twice. 1 second. I meant to grab the onion powder. So, yep, my onion powder. So, those are my to-go seasonings for my ribs. And sometimes I do Kingsford seasonings for my ribs or steaks. So, I will put that onto my ribs also as well. So, yes, let's get started into this video and recipe. Yep, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I opened up already my block of cheese already. My first one. And I'm going to basically just cut it. Get this out the way for 1 second. And then what you want to do is always cut your block of cheese in half, so that way you know you can have the first part of the cheese grated. So I just take a grater like this with the handle, or I can use the other square one with the handle, like a cheese grater. I just put it right over to this right here, and I use the large blades right here to to shred the cheese. So like this. And then this cheese will go in the beginning of the potatoes. This is the sharp cheese that I'm doing first, and I'm also doing the Colby Jack too as well. And I usually do Swiss, but I don't want too much cheese, you know, because that really clogs up the arteries. But cheese is a good thing sometimes. But if you want to start the new year off right, and you can definitely, it's optional too. You can reduce your cheese usage too. You can just use 2 blocks and that's it. And then just do 2 layers of your potatoes with the cheese. And yeah. And yeah, make sure you definitely to your pan, whatever size dish pan, glass dish pan that you have, make sure you spray it with canola oil cooking spray. And then for extra spray, what I normally do is I just normally put in a couple of tablespoons of vegetable oil, so that way within like less than an hour my pan won't get all sticky and burnt. So, and this is just like a very easy meal to cook as well. I try to make easy beginner friendly meals for you all out there, for all you cooks or for all you beginner cooks. And definitely take notes also as well. And if you like what you see in the video so far, thank you so much for tuning in to another video, to another recipe. I appreciate each and every one of you so entirely much. So just make sure you definitely subscribe to Dawnies Kitchen. Turn on that notification bell so you'll never miss an upload that I do. And yeah, so we're gonna, this is what I have so far. Let me show you. I don't want the little small cheeses. Just about like that much so far in cheese. So I'm gonna keep on going. And yeah, so that way we can get this cheese already grated and to be already done. So I did the potatoes already because I don't want to bore you with that. But I want to show you what I do to the cheese. And I already sliced up my onion. I got to slice up the green bell pepper as well. And rinse that off. And yeah, and this will be a good, quick, easy meal to have to your family, while they're outside or the kids are outside playing, whichever, and you're in the house cooking dinner, getting started before 5 o'clock, or if you had today off. This is a very good meal too to cook too. It's kind of cold here in Michigan. It's about 36 degrees, almost 40 degrees, so not bad for weather type. And if you have chunks in with the cheese, that's fine, because you're gonna put them right on top, or you can put them in the middle of your potatoes. I'll show you how I do that with the extra vegetable oil that I do. I'll show you that. So far, when you do your potatoes, you make sure you can use up to 6 to 8 potatoes. If you're a potato lover, you can do 9 potatoes, but 6 to 8 is good enough. It depends on what size your family is, because it's just me and Hamilton, so it's just the 2 of us. But I like leftovers. There's nothing wrong with leftovers. I love me some leftovers for dinner, because that way if I get home at 10 o'clock at night from work, I could just heat up, or like our meal, and serve him, and then serve me, and then we watch TV, yep, and then that's it. We take a shower after dinner, or we take a shower before dinner, or we'll take a shower after dinner actually, and then just go to bed and start off the next work day all over again. So we have another day off together. So, but yeah, but this is a very simple, good, easy meal, and it's optional too. If you want to add like heavy whipping cream, to this meal, not whipping cream, I'm sorry, like sour cream, you can, like on top, when the potatoes and stuff is done out of the oven, and then like parsley, some onion chives on top, just for garnish. That'll look really, really good. Okay, and then that's the 1 block of cheese. And then I always make sure I have me up some dishwashing water and soap. Always make sure I have that, and always make sure my kitchen is always clean. And I'm going to wash my hands real quick. I just cut some cheese. And I always want to make sure I have a towel right on my shoulder, because you can always just wipe it off after whatever you touch. So I haven't touched the meat yet, but I'm going to show you how I do that also as well. So let me open up this other block of cheese and show you one more time. So yeah, I had another video, recipe video number 2. There's some technical difficulties that I'm having, but Hamilton and I will get it together. So I just love cooking. It's just, I have a passion for it. I love it. Every time I get in the kitchen, I'm smiling. I'm so grateful and blessed to be. Make sure you don't do that. Yeah, I'm just so happy and grateful to do this for Hamilton and I, cook and show you all across the world my family's recipes that are passed down to me. I just sent them back down to my mom, and then my mom passed them down to me. And then, of course, as I got older, you know, I did some tweaks, you know, put my own spin to them, just a little bit, not too much, but still kept them, you know, family. And I have a little bit of makeup on because I did a video to the beauty room, so definitely check that out. Subscribe if you haven't, turn on the notification bell. Check out the beauty room by me, Dawn. That is me. That's my first YouTube channel, but this is my second YouTube channel I'm doing here. It's Dawnies Kitchen, and I just want to say welcome back, everybody. So yes, thank you all for tuning in to making my first video ever. I was so nervous, but you know, as you're nervous to a new channel, and you know, and you're doing something that you have a passion for, that you love doing, of course you're going to get nervous, and it's exciting, you know, different, you know, and yes. And if you get like chunks of cheese, that's okay, because you're going to put the cheese right into your potatoes. So, and also my potatoes are basically soft. You want to check them with a fork, or you can check them with a spoon, whichever is easiest for you. But I'm just old school. I like to check with a fork, because that way I could be like, you know, I can see how tender and soft it is, because it's going to be in the oven for at least 30 to 35 minutes until the cheese is well melted, incorporated into the potatoes with the parsley. And yes, you're going to see that too as I layer. I'm going to just do probably about 2 layers. So, because I only have about 8 to 9 potatoes that I did. I peeled them, and then after that I put them in cold water, not warm water, cold water, so I can rinse the potatoes off and get all the other excess of dirt off to the potatoes, to the skin potatoes first, and then I peeled them, and then I cut them up in chunks. So yeah, so that's what I did to the potatoes, and I did that about almost an hour ago. So before Hamilton got home, close to about 35 minutes, you know, ago. So that way it won't be too long of a video today, because it's Friday and everybody is out and about, you know, running errands, and you're trying to also think of a good recipe to come up with for you and that special someone, or you and a family. You have like 4 people in a family, you know, you want to come up with a simple, easy meal, and this is the simple and easy meal. And then for the prices of these cheeses, the blocks of cheese were 2 for $3 at my local grocery store. So I grabbed 2 blocks. I always try to have enough cheese. Also, when I make my mac and cheese, I usually get 2 blocks of the sharp cheese and 1 block of the Colby Jack cheese. And then I grabbed 2 bags that are already shredded of like not Swiss, but like some more sharp. And then sometimes I do use Swiss cheese. So, you know, just to mix it up, you know. So, yeah. Alright, so this cheese is about done being shredded. Okay. Alright, I'm going to come back and we're going to see step 2. So, I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back to step 2. So this is, I'll just say this as my second recipe, because with the first one came out good. Thank you all so much also as well for tuning in, watching, or just stopping by, and also subscribing. Thank you all so much. You mean the world to me. With new subscribers continue to come and growing, the channel will grow and is in due time. So thank God for that. And yes, so this is the vegetable oil that I use also as well. It's optional too. You can also put if you can cook up like about, I say six slices or maybe 8 slices of bacon, cook them, you know, to your desired like, you know, and then after that, put them onto a plate with a couple of paper towels, let them dry, and then let them cool down, and then chop them up in chunks, or you can chop them up in chunks already while it's, you know, raw, and then put them into your pot, I mean not pot, but skillet with vegetable oil, you know, because it makes its own oil. Bacon makes its own oil, so just put them into your skillet and let your skillet be on to medium heat when you do bacon, you know, and make sure for that, and also let them cook for about 3 to 5 minutes. That's it. And then put them onto a baking sheet with a baking rack, not paper towels. I apologize about that, but yes, let them be onto a rack with your baking sheet first, and then your rack on top of your baking sheet, and then let each slice of your bacon cool down. And then once it's cooled down, within a minute or so or more, chop them up with your nice sharp knife, of course, and yeah, and set that to side to your plate. And then as you're getting your potatoes ready, it will be so delicious, so good. So I already got my shredded cheese already, blocks of cheese. I have my onions already sliced, and now it's time for me to actually take the potatoes out the pot. Sorry, take the potatoes out the pot and let them be on the colander for just a second or so. So this is the baking dish pan I'm talking about. This is about an 8 by 11. This will be good also as well for baked ziti. I'm gonna do baked ziti in my next video, cooking video. So yes, I'll be doing that. But I'm going to use this tonight for the cheesy potatoes. So that's just how I call them, cheesy potatoes. You know, you can call it whatever you want. So give me 1 second. I gotta grab the bacon bits, because I was going to do bacon, but I didn't buy bacon. So you got to substitute to what you have in your kitchen. So all right, had to look over my seasoning rack over there. So I got the bacon bits. I'm just gonna put them in the middle and also on top, so it'll be so good. So yes, let's do that right now. But before we do, I have to move this baking pan out of the way just for a minute. Gotta just turn the top over and set that like right there. So yes, and I gotta get a colander, and I have to move my meat out of the way. So yeah, put this over here so I can get this out of the way. Get to my colander. And I'm going to drain my potatoes. And I use water, and then I use about 4 tablespoons of chicken powder. So definitely remember that too. You can definitely always use chicken powder if you don't have chicken broth for your potatoes when you put them onto the pot on your stove. So you want to have at least 4 cups to 6 cups of water, and then at least half of a quart of chicken broth. If you do not have chicken powder, you can definitely use the chicken broth. Let it soak in with your water and let it go for a boil. And then when that's going to a boil, and you're peeling and cutting up your potatoes into chunks like this, they're warm so I can touch one. Show you chunks like this. Yeah. Then put them to a side. Put them on a calendar. Let them cool down. Then you want to add your potatoes to a layer. So yes. So let's do that now. So we're just going to add a spoon, okay, just like this. Okay, so first I'm going to just do the potatoes, just a little bit at first, not too much. There. Should get all of the potatoes, but all right. So they're kind of soft, so then you want to just add this little bit onion, just like that. Then you want to take bacon bits, just sprinkle them on your bacon bits. You know, you got to eyeball it also as well, just eyeball it. Put a little bit of, I need the other, hold on 1 second. Yeah, I needed this one. Yeah, this was, yep, I grabbed the wrong onion powder because it was already open. This one was. Just a little bit of onion powder to it. I'm sorry, not onion powder, garlic powder. So it's just eyeball it, you know, if you're not a measuring type of person. Sometimes I am. I go back and forth with it sometimes too. And then just a little bit of the onion powder. And of course your ground black pepper. And I don't add seasoned salt to my potatoes because my onion powder and garlic powder is already salty enough. And then that, then cheese right on top. And you want to make sure that you get all of the cheese onto the potatoes, not really so much the pan. You want to really get them onto the potatoes, into your meat here. And you want to make it really, really cheesy. So, okay. And this is how it looks for the first layer. I'm going to do the second layer now. And then just do a repeat to the first layer that you did. Oh yeah, this was just enough. Wow, okay. So I had to cook a whole lot more. Okay. Alright. So I set this right here. Add the rest of the onions. Okay. I love cooking. Oh my goodness. I love it with a passion. Love it. So then I want to add some bacon bits. So much we like bacon bits. Bacon bits are pretty good, but you want to do if you have time, you can do, you know, bacon. You know, if you shop for bacon at your local grocery store. Just a little bit more of the onion powder I just used. And then garlic powder. Just a little, not too much. That. And of course, parsley flakes. Yes, on top. This looks so pretty. I like to add them in now. That's just me, but because this is just like a twice baked potato, you know. And optional too, you can add like sour cream onto the top of, you know, on top. You can do that, you know. I will, because I don't want it to because I'm going to always get this again. So if I use some of it now, I can always get more, you know, tomorrow, because I do work tomorrow. So, and I do have to stop at a store tomorrow. Actually 2 stores before I go to work. So you always want to, when you open up your package to your sour cream, you want to just make sure that you stir it just a little bit and just add it in just a little bit, It's optional, you know, but I like to add just a little bit of the sour cream. It just gives it a type of taste. And you can also add sour cream into on top too as well. I like to add it into my potatoes when I do potatoes like this. And then you want to cover it up, but rinse the skin off first before you put it into your water, because your water is fresh with hot water and dish soap. Yeah, but sour cream is optional. I like to put sour cream, you know. To my potatoes just to make it, you know, tangy. Okay. And then because I don't add minced garlic, I don't add that into it. I'm going to get some foil to cover this up real tight and good. And then once about 20 minutes, I take it off, and then I let the other 15 minutes without the foil. I remove the foil after that 20 minutes. I'm going to set this on a timer. I'm going to set this on a timer so that way I can have it on the timer. And it's optional also to add sour cream like in the top. You can add it in the middle, but I like to add it on top, you know. You don't have to if you don't want to. Definitely make sure you put enough bacon bits, or if you want to cook some bacon, you know, cook just enough bacon. Put some in the middle and then on top as well. So it's going on a 375-degree oven right now for at least 20 minutes, and I put it in the middle rack. And I put it the long way, not the side way. So let that go for at least 20 minutes and it'll be right back again. You also want to get a timer too. You can get these timers like at Target, Walmart should sell them. And then set your timer to whatever you're putting into your oven and let that go. So, all right, we're gonna letting that go for at least 20 minutes. So yes, I'm going to get these out the way for a second. I'm gonna still keep the garlic powder and the onion powder and the seasoning salt out for my ribs. I'm putting these up real quick. I'm gonna keep out my powder, my ground black pepper. I should have enough. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me just wash the cutting board off real quick first. Because I always say you want to cook clean as you go. You don't want to have a whole lot of dishes, you know, at the end of the dinner. You don't want a whole lot. So then I also wash my hands. I put gloves on. And I'm grabbing my 2 pair of gloves. I'll set them right there. And then I'm going to wash my hands. Okay. Alright, so my hands are washed. I'm putting on my gloves now because I'm getting ready to touch meat. So that's just me because I care about Hamilton, you know, our health and everything like that, you know. And also too, be considerate of anybody that is in your family and he or she's a cook as well. You want to make sure you have you a bowl, just a bowl, you know, good enough, big enough. It can be something like this or something like this, you know, any bowl. And you just want to make sure your bowl is right there so you can have your trash right at the bowl, because it's not fair to the other person that's been home, you know, and she, you know, she's been cooking or not cooking or whichever, whoever trades off with the cooking for a day or two or whichever, and then it's your turn to cook. You know, you don't want dirty dishes or your kitchen counter to be dirty, you know. Yeah, you don't want dishes all on your sink, you know. That's not fair to you or to your significant other, your spouse. Take your sharp knife and cut up your green bell pepper just like this. Okay, and then I can use a little bit of what's left of that. So, all right. So we're going to, and also as you get your green bell pepper, you can open it up. Just be careful with your knife, sharp knife. Okay. This on my shoulder. Okay. So you just want to make sure that your knives are very sharp, cleaned. Okay. Alright, so we're just going to use this little bit of green bell pepper. And just cut up your green bell pepper in layers like this, if you can see it, just like that. Yeah. Or you can chop them up in chunks, however you know you want to do. It's your kitchen, your way. So remember that always, okay? I'm just cutting these up just to put them in with the ribs. I'm going to make the ribs a little bit smaller because I want this meal to last for just a few days until I make another meal. So I make baked ziti. So that's what I want to make Hamilton and I next. Or some chicken Alfredo, you know, something like that. So, and then I also use the same seasonings that I add to the potatoes, except the bacon bits, and I just use the onion powder, garlic powder, seasoned salt, and ground black pepper to my ribs. And every so often I may go for the Kingsford rib seasoning also as well. Sometimes, not all the time. So just taking a chunk off of one of the green bell peppers, and I'm just cutting it in chunks. Because there's sometimes Hamilton and I like the long chunks or like the medium chunk. So yeah. So as you cut up your green pepper, just make sure that you slice them to any way you want. I'm not the best person to cut up green bell peppers, but I just do them as best way as I know how. So I know I got to get better on my knife skills, but hey, you know, you fall short somewhere. So that's where I fall short at, is my knifing skills are not the best, but that's okay. So I'm actually working on that though. I'm working on how to get better at cutting. You know, you always want to make sure in your kitchen too is your hair is your hair don't have to be put up in a bun or ponytail, but I do for me because the size kitchen I have, you know, is room. It's very much a good space and room, but you know, in a mobile home, you know, it depends on what size the trailer is or whichever. You know, I'm just saying, you know, I mean, that's just what I do. I like to sometimes put my hair in a bun, but lately, since I've been doing these videos, my hair has been pulled back, but just in halfway, you know, halfway up, half up down, halfway. So yeah, so my green peppers are already cut already, and I'm going to just throw this excess green bell pepper with the seeds, and I'll be right back. And you want to clean as you go. Oh, sponge actually. Okay, you want to always clean as you go. You can use a towel, whatever you prefer. Okay. And this is a very cook fast oven too, so there's sometimes I gotta be really careful, you know, because it's just, I don't know, it's just a fast cooking oven. So it's a pretty small, cute little oven here, but it does the job of cooking. So alright, my kitchen counter is clean, everything else is done with. So now this is the packaging of meat that we get from our grocery store, local grocery store, when it's on our manager special. This is about close to almost 3 pounds, and it was on price, or sale price, $7.16. That is very good on the ribs these days. So yeah, I got this about a week ago, and then with it, it has that fat on it, as you can tell and see. So I'm going to try to take it off, and then I cut it up in chunks. Like, I'll show you, like in half, basically. I don't like a lot of fat on the meat. I want to try my best to take some of it off. Alright, that's one good slice. Alright. That one has like a little bit like right there, so I'm going to take that off. I'm just going to use the same knife. So that's what you want to do. Make sure you look at your meat and take off the fat to your ribs, or to any meat that you get, except chicken. Because, I mean, well, it's not except chicken, but chicken may have it too as well. So you want to just eyeball it, and then before I put my seasoning, I just want to cut the fat off first, and then I'm going to cut them up and just halfway, just in two. So just like this, that's just how I cut them up, like that. And then after that, I'll rinse them off as well. So yeah. Okay, that should be there. It's a little bit big. And if you have like a long piece of a rib, you may want to cut it into threes. So that way, this meal will last, I say about 3 days, 4 days. It depends on, like I said, the size of your family, you know. So yeah. So I'll be back. I'm gonna finish cutting up these ribs. I got one more rib to cut up, and I'll be right back. Okay. All right, I'm back, and I forgot to tell you about the package. I'll show you the package, but this is the bone-in pork country style ribs family pack. So you really probably can't really see it, but it is called bone-in pork country style ribs family pack. So definitely pick this up at your local grocery store if you can find it. Very reasonable price. This price was $7.16 on manager special. Okay. That is done. I'm going to add, wash my hands again, because I just got done. Even though I had gloves on, I like to still wash my hands, no matter what. So, all right. So now that is done. So I'm going to grab my pan. This is the size pan that I normally use for my ribs when I want to bake them in the oven. So this is a very good deep dish pan. And I got this, it's a 13 by 9. This is what you want to use for your baking or your cooking in the oven. So I got this at the thrift store. So there sometimes I do shop at the thrift store too for like my baking stuff, my pots and pans, or whatever, you know, it's good, you know, it's affordable, reasonable price, you know. So that these regular stores like Target and Walmart, you gotta look out for the prices, you know. You gotta look out for you and your family what actually fits you and your family. You know, you gotta stay in with the means of that budget. So, and I just placed the order to my second order from Temu because I really did like Temu what I got today, or a few days ago, before I did my video today. I was so happy. So now I'm going to put my gloves on again, but before I do, I'm just going to add a few tablespoons. I say at least 3 to 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil, or any oil you want to add to your pan, like that. Everything likes to fall when I do stuff. That's okay. Alright, so back to this. So you want to take a few sheets of paper towels, spread your vegetable oil to the sides of your pan, because as your meat goes in here, you don't want your pans to be burnt, you know. It's going to be like a little sticky or something, probably, maybe. And then sometimes I just cook this meat just as is. Sometimes I do barbecue sauce, but these ribs are pretty good without barbecue sauce. But if you want to add barbecue sauce, you can add Crab's barbecue sauce. You can go Open Pit. You can go, I think you call it Mr. Buzz or something like that, I think. You know, with the older black man on it, you know, display. You can add whatever, you can add whatever barbecue sauce to these ribs while they're in the oven, before they get into the oven. Before they get into the oven. So yes, so that's all the oil. But I'm gonna use more though. Okay, I'm gonna add just a few more spreads of vegetable oil. Alright, that's just enough of that. What you put in there. Alright, so now I'm going to put my gloves on again, but I'm going to season my meat as it's in the pan, you know, because I don't want to season all over the counter and have to clean my counter again. But you can just go real light when you do your seasoning. Eyeball it and be careful. So, and I know this is football season, so I'm going to also show you all as well how to do some honey barbecued and garlic parmesan wings for the honey barbecued, and also the garlic parmesan wings as well for game day, you know, for you and your family, or for your husband's friends and for your friends who are going to come over and watch the game. You can also do these ribs too as well. They're very filling too. These ribs are very, very filling. So you want to just place your ribs to your pan, just like so. And that's been about 20 minutes, but I'm going to set the timer again for at least 5 more minutes. Yeah, so like 5 more minutes. I'm going to set it for 5 more minutes because I'm doing this meat right now. And I want to make sure I got this together as well. So right, so I got, oh wow, I got all the meat in there fitted very, very well. Okay, so first thing I'm going to add is my LAWRYS seasonings. So you want to just eyeball it, you know, just go real light, slow, not too harsh, you know, but you want to make sure your ribs are seasoning. So give that a good rub, good massage to your first side, flip them over to your second one. Then we want to go very lightly on the second side. This is how I just like to do it first. The seasoning, salt, and then we got to do the other sides with the other seasonings. Alright, so that is enough seasoning. But you always want to season your meat very, very well because you have your family, you got your friends tasting your food. You always want to make sure you have enough seasoning onto everything. So these are the exact same seasonings that I used for the cheesy potatoes. Those cheesy potatoes are going to come out so good. So and that one. And then this don't take that long for the ribs. I say about a good hour. So I like to put both containers in the oven, but no, potatoes don't take that long. So I just cook them, you know, reduce the heat down, you know, as well. So this is how I'm doing the ribs. You do not want to come out, do you? Black pepper. There you go. Sometimes you want to pat it sometimes. Alright. And then there's also sometimes too optional. If I'm in a hurry, I'll just put these in the skillet, fry them up in the skillet, and then I'll put them in the oven for at least 20 more minutes. Sometimes I do, but not all the time. So yeah, so that's just sometimes that's just a quick little optional type of, you know, if you want to do that, cook them right on the skillet, right on your stove top. Works just as good too. All right, so that is enough on the seasonings. So I don't cover up my meat, so I'm gonna put it right in the oven. Doing that up here right now. Oh, also, yeah. I also forgot about my green peppers. So then you want to top it off with some green bell peppers. Okay. A little bit of vegetable oil to the ribs on top. Then to get like a little bit of broth, just a little bit, just tiny bit. Just eyeball it. You do want to add a little bit of some kind of liquid to this, not too much. And then you want to put this in the refrigerator. As soon as you open it, you got to put it in the refrigerator. That's just my water that I drink. Okay, then you want to check it up, put it in the oven. Okay, you want to check on your potatoes. Throw this meat away. All right, go like this. Too short sometimes for this kitchen. Alright, so move your seasonings out of the way. Right there. That out the way. Alright, so as you open up your oven, put this right here, my way. Okay, as you open up your oven, just check on your potatoes. And right there, going okay, but those are going to have to be cooked for a good another hour. So your whole entire meal cooked for a good hour, hour and a half. So just let that go just like that on 375. Now you can turn up your heat up to 400 degrees in your oven, and after that 20-25 minutes, remove your foil. And now your ribs are in the oven. Your potatoes are still in the oven, and it will take a good hour, hour and a half for this meal, and you'll be ready to eat no later than about 6:30, 7 o'clock. I'll give it to usually 7 o'clock. So yes. All right, and we will come back with the finished product so you can see the delicious food and the potatoes. Yep. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot. Silly me. I forgot about my cheese. Let me, yeah. So, yeah. And you cannot forget about the cheese, but I did. So you gotta have a good delicious cheese on top, right? It is not cheesy potatoes without the cheese. And that does happen to me sometimes. I do forget. I mean, this cheese is like melty. And make sure you get all your cheeses. Get them on it. Get them on the edge of your potatoes with your onions, your bacon bits, your parsley flakes. Oh yes. Oh yeah. And be very, very careful as the oven is open. Your oven. All right. Okay, I'll show you the finished product when everything is done. So intermission for a little bit, quite some time. This does take about a good hour or so, or probably a half or two. It takes about usually between an hour and a half to 2 hours. So set your timer. Make sure your timer is set. Give me 1 second. And definitely close your oven too, because you're letting all the good heat, delicious heat out of your food. Yes. All right. But like I was saying, make sure that you, make sure that you do not forget to top your cheese to your potatoes to your oven. They just call it cheesy potatoes. That's just what I call them, cheesy potatoes. And they're gonna turn out amazing, delicious when all this meal is done. I say it's the time now is 5:12. So by 6 o'clock, this meal should be done. I say no later than about 6:15. Let's just say 6:15, okay? So about 6:15, this meal will be done. So you want to start the potatoes early, but not too early. I say about 30 minutes into the prep before you prep anything else. Before you can prep up your green bell peppers and your onions. Set those aside, and then do your boiling water, which is four. I say about 6 cups of water. Let it get to a boiling medium high heat to your stove top with your pot. Add in 4 tablespoons of chicken powder. If you do not have that, you can add the whole quart or half a quart to your boiling water, to your potatoes if they're already peeled and cut up into your boiling water. Add definitely like a little bit of regular salt, a pinch of regular salt. That will make so that way your potatoes won't stick or anything like that. But with the chicken broth or with the chicken powder, which is right here by Herb Ox, you can definitely make sure you have that into your kitchen cabinet or whatever you have chicken powder for your potatoes. You want to make sure you have just 4 tablespoons of that into your pot. Your peeled already cut up potatoes into your pot with your chicken powder. Let that go for at least in half an hour to 35 minutes. and you turn that off. But you check every so often with the potatoes with the fork as well to make sure they're tender but not too soft, just tender enough, soft enough but not too their doneness. You know, you want to make them sure they're soft but not too, you know, the exact doneness to them. Then once that is turned off, your burner's turned off, make sure you also excuse me, and then make sure you have a colander to drain your potatoes, and then put them into your already greased a little bit of a vegetable oil if you want to use that. You can use butter, you know, get a few tablespoons of butter, wipe it down with paper towel, or you can use a whole stick of butter. Make sure all the sides of your glass of baking dish is buttered, and use a little bit of vegetable oil, at least 2 tablespoons to 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil into your baking dish. Make sure that is all greased and well. Then you want to add your softened potatoes, but make sure they're cooled down just enough. But use a spoon though to layer it, and then layer it with your first layer of potatoes, then your little bit of onions, your sliced onions. Then you want to do your parsley, your onion powder, your parsley, your onion powder, your garlic powder, and then your black pepper. So those are it there. Onion powder, garlic powder, your black pepper, and yes, and your parsley flakes as well. So those are the 4 ingredients that you want to put to your first layer of potatoes. And it's optional. It's up to you if you want to put a small layer of sour cream, just a small layer, spread it out good enough. That's up to you, but you don't have to. That's totally up to you. It's optional, but you don't have to. And then your second layer, oh, your baking bits too as well. Your baking bits, or you can cook up some bacon. Use the whole package of bacon. Put the first layer also of bacon on the first layer of potatoes with your seasonings, your everything like that, and your cheese as well, and then your bacon. Your second layer, do it, repeat it again with your potatoes. Now you can put your sour cream, just a little bit of sour cream, your parsley, your onion powder, your garlic powder, and your parsley and your black pepper, and then your bacon bits on top, and then parsley on top, and then your your shredded cheese that you already shredded already for your second layer, or for first layer and second layer. Then your top layer will be for your shredded cheese on top. Put that on 375. Let that go for at least 25 minutes the first. Take the foil off, remove it, put that in the trash. Then let it go again for the next 35 to 40 minutes until that cheese is well melted, and then the potatoes have like a crispy, light crispy to it, or to light golden brown for your potatoes. And put your heat up to 400. Turn that heat up to 400 and let that go for at least 30 to 35 minutes. But check it every so often. It's up to you how done this you want your potatoes, because your potatoes are already soft from your stove top, but you want your potatoes that's in the oven baked to get to that crispiness, that nice soft crispiness, and then that melted cheese, and then that sour cream, and then that bacon. Ooh, yes, it will be a good meal. And then your ribs too, and then on top of your stove too, it's going to be also some green beans if you want. What I usually do with my green beans, I use a stick of butter, or I'll just eyeball my butter, about at least 2 tablespoons, 2 to 4 tablespoons of butter. Then just a little bit of chicken broth to my green beans, not potatoes, but my green beans as well, because you want that chicken broth as well to your green beans. So yes, that's just a tip and advice. So yeah, this will be a good meal. It'll be done within till 6:15 or 6:30. You know, want to give it a good 6:15, 6:30ish time. So yeah, that's it for that, and I'll be back. Gotta clean up the kitchen, wash the dishes, and yes, I will let you see the finished product at the end. So please definitely enjoy the video so far. I hope and pray that you liked it, enjoyed it. Give it a like, comment, and subscribe to the Dawnies Kitchen. And yes, make sure that you turn on that notification bell so you get notified every time of all videos that I do. So God bless you all. Thank you for new subscribers. Subscribers already subscribed. God bless you all. You mean the world to me, from my heart to yours. Thank you so much for your support and your love. I appreciate you all. And yes, so I'll be back. Alright, I'm back for the final step. Everything is cooked. I just took the ribs out of the oven. They are extremely hot, so let me show you how they look. I can get it together here. Can you see the ribs? I'm going to show you the ribs if I can. So you don't really see me. You can see the ribs, more the food. Okay. These are the ribs. I mean, they look so amazing. It took about a good hour and a half or two to cook the ribs. Oh my goodness, yes. And then have some string beans. So here, I'll show you that. And then of course, the star of the show is my cheesy potatoes. So I just throw that away. These are my cheesy potatoes. How good do they look? With the onions, parsley, bacon bits, the sour cream, the potatoes. So I will serve Hamilton his plate now. So that way you can see his plate, or you actually see my plate. So I'm going to serve his plate to him right now. And I'm going to give him a good slice of meat, a good portion of the ribs, just a little bit of the broth, just a little bit of it onto the meat, just in case he may want a little bit of it. And then the green bell pepper. So that's that. And let's serve up. No, I'm going to use this for the green beans. I'm going to use this spoon for the cheesy potatoes. I usually just take a corner of it, because I had to wait to let this cool down for at least almost half an hour. And this meal is so good. Oh, it's so good. It looks just cheesy. I'm trying to make a good plate for him. Okay, those are the cheesy potatoes, and I'll give you another recipe of how I did my cheesy potatoes again. And this is so far how it looks. The meat, the cheesy potatoes. I'm gonna do the green beans right now. Give me 1 second. My timer just went off. Okay, so now that's the green beans. That's the cheesy potatoes. Okay, let's serve the green beans now with the slotted spoon with the holes. And these are usually from Ollie's. So if you have, I hope you do have an Ollie's in your area, state, and city. It's very good store. That's good. Sorry, I got my thumbnail, but this is Hamilton's plate with the cheesy potatoes, green beans, and a piece of rib meat with just a few little bits of the green bell peppers. I'm gonna give him his plate now, so I'll be right back in 1 second. Then this is gonna be my plate. I'm gonna just serve me up like one meat. But this meal does last for just a few days in our house, so definitely make this meal. It's very, very good. I'm gonna do a taste test in a few minutes. I like to get the corners too, or like the middle of the potatoes, cheesy potatoes. I'm gonna do these potatoes again to show you how I did them. They're so good. Oh my that cheese does melt. And it was cooking too light for me when it was in the oven, so I let it go for just a few more minutes with the potatoes, the cheesy potatoes. Move this out the way. And then for the green beans, all I did was just add just like half a cup, about a cup, half a cup first, and then a cup of chicken broth to the pot, and then my whole bag of green beans with 2 tablespoons of butter. Cooked it on low, let it cook for at least a half an hour to make the beans to be like a little more darker than how they are. So we're going to pray and do a taste test of this delicious food. And it is a little after 6:30, so it's about 6:50. So let's pray. Heavenly Father God, I thank you for this food. Thank you for who you are and what you are. Thank you for this meal and the subscribers and new subscribers. People just stopping by to watching Dawnies Kitchen. I thank you, God, for each and every subscriber and their family. God, continue to bless them, show them favor, grace, and mercy. Amen. Okay. So I'm going to try a little bit of the potatoes. Oh my gosh. So good. So the green beans. Or the meat. And the meat should just fall like right off the bone if there are any bones in them. It should cut just like directly right out. Just really nice. Definitely give this meal a try. It's so delicious. So tonight entertainment is we're watching The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler. Such a good movie with this meal. And then for dessert, it's going to be cinnamon rolls. I'll make that. It's just right out the can and just read the directions on the back of the can and put it on your oven to 425 for that. And let that go for about 10 to 18 minutes, depends on your pan, whatever pan that you use. It's like a light pan. It takes about 12 to 18 or 12 to I think 15 minutes, but I like mine about 15 minutes done, no more than that. And then the icing, cut a little tip off from the icing package, swirl it around your cinnamon rolls, or you can make homemade cinnamon rolls. So I'll say this is meal number 2, not 3, because we're still working on meal number 2 that I did yesterday, but I had it on my new laptop and it was just difficulty after another. So we're still trying to work on that after we eat dinner and everything like that. Enjoy me and Hamilton's time, or on our time. So yeah, enjoy this meal. Make this meal. It's so good. It does take a few hours, but I'll list the ingredients, instructions in the description box below. So enjoy the rest of your evening. God bless you all. Please stay safe, encourage, dream big, enjoy your weekend. Please stay safe, stay well for 2023. Be careful, be safe out there, and make sure you definitely tell your family and friends all about Dawnies Kitchen. Definitely subscribe to this channel and make sure your notification bell is turned on, so that make sure you turn on your notification bell, so that way you can get uploads from me, from Dawnies Kitchen. And God bless you all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe, be careful, and I'll see you next video in the recipe. Bye. Bye.